What's going on, Morning Army? We are going to keep this train moving on the Teatro Metropolitan concert. We are only a few songs away from finishing this concert series out, and I am very excited to get through the rest of this concert and get on to the next chapter of warning videos that we're going to be doing. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do yet because I still have quite a bit of music from this band to listen to and still get familiar with and kind of just go through some different processes with this band in general. So I think that I've been thinking about other concerts. I've been thinking about going through and talking about Keep Me Fed and talking about those individual records. I think that probably might be a really good idea to do something like that right after my first experience going to see them this weekend. But when it comes to the warning, the best thing to do is listen to my fellow brothers and sisters within the Army and let you guys be my guide and tell me what you guys would rather see. What kind of concept or what kind of videos would you like to see me do after we get done with this Teatro series? Let's go ahead and check out Hunter.
I'm one step behind when you close your eyes. I'm breathing on your neck, I'm the chill down your spine. Shadow your ghost, I'm here to collect the payment that you're running from the lives that you spent. You taunt me with words that don't make a sound. You mock with your actions, you laugh with no doubt. You relish the pain and cherish it more. 'Cause after this there'll be nothing to feel anymore. All on to me now. The time is running out. Fall on to me now. The time is running out. When both of your feet fall on the steps, you're couldn't climb. I'll be there to pull you on to take back what is mine. You think you can take my title away? Well, I'm coming back, better run away. It's my turn, I'll pass the judgment. You can't escape your fate. Run! Right at your door and I'm counting to 3. Don't need no permission to take you with me. You went through hell, you'll go through it again. It's not a question of why, it's a question of when. Fall on to me now. The time is running out. Fall on to me now. The time is running out. When both of your feet fall down to the steps you couldn't climb, I'll be there to pull you up to take back what is mine. You think you can take my title away? Well, I'm coming back, better run away. It's my turn, I'll pass the judgment. You can't escape your fate. Run! There's no escape. I'm coming back. There's no escape. I'm coming back. There's no escape. I'm coming back. There's no escape.
Oh boy, that's probably the best place I found so far to stop in this song. This is one of those songs like from the very beginning. I feel like this like had like an entire concept like behind just the overall theme of this song. It kind of gave me the vibes, and this is a shot in the dark here without having any kind of clue. It made me feel like I thought that this would probably be on the concept record, just like off the initial feelings of it. That's just was my initial thought was like, I can kind of see this one kind of going and tying into the concept record as part of along the story of that entire journey that we're going on with Queen of the Murder Scene. But with my luck, it's probably not even on that record, and I'm probably completely off base there. But I feel like this song had a build to it, and I feel like it was Like it was just building for that moment where like, we had like a lot of those little drum rolls where it was like, it kind of like I feel like she was like letting us know like there's like a build in this song. Like every time that drum groove when she just like papa to papa to papa, I feel like that little part right there was just kind of like letting me know like there's more coming. And like I said, they always find a way to add that sugar and spice to the song. And so like I said, like, I feel like if I pause it too early, I'm gonna miss a concept. I'm gonna miss something that I'm supposed to be taking away from listening to the entire song. That's one of the things I find frustrating about trying to pause in some of these videos. Is like sometimes I have like immediate things I want to say, and I find more natural moments to actually just go ahead and hit pause and give some of my thoughts. But there's other times where I feel like I need to hear more before I can actually like really formulate really what I want to say and how the song is actually overall making me feel. Every time that they panned to people in the audience, I saw like a mixture of some people singing, some people not, some people videoing. That's kind of like a mixture of kind of all concerts, right? So it really made me think about like this weekend. So when I go to the Warning concert, what should I expect? Should I expect to be judged like if I sing along like to songs? Like what is the overall like temperature of the room there? Because I feel like I just came off a concert where every time that I like happen to sing along, which I'm not the guy that sings along at every single show. Like there's just parts where you just can't help yourself. And I feel like that's part of the environment. But I'm a little shell shocked now because I got a lot of judgment my last concert anytime that I spoke up and sang out loud. Because like everybody around me did not sing a single word to a single song that was played. So I need to know, what is the overall temperature and vibe of these shows? Are we expecting to just watch the performance, or do we like to sing and get involved as well? I want to know because I want to know what kind of people in like the section that I'm going to be standing in, wherever that might be. Like what is the expectation there? Because trust me, I'm the guy who does both things at shows. Like when I feel like it's the right show to get like, a little bit more, like let a little bit more looser and just kind of enjoy myself, I do. But a lot of times I'm also the guy just sits there that's pretty stone-faced and just kind of really absorbs what's happening, and I enjoy the show so much, even though that it might not necessarily look like I am. But back to Hunter and my thoughts on this song. I like the concept of this record. I think that it's a good overall sound. I feel like the Warning never really let you down with boring riffs or anything like that. Like you guys have mentioned a few times now, like the Warning doesn't really have a bad song. It's just which one do you like more than the other one, and which one are you wanting to listen to that day? What kind of mood are you in? I've heard so many people say that, that Keep Me Fed is their favorite record. And obviously when a new album comes out, it's really easy to get caught up in that being your favorite, right? So for me, obviously it's my favorite record because it's the only one that I'm that familiar with. Like, I've listened to it start to finish from multiple times. I know a lot of the songs. I have my favorites. I have my ones that, I come back to more than the other ones. And sometimes I just listen to the entire record, but it's the only Warning album that I've really actually appreciated that way. But I've heard plenty of you say that, like, Queen of the Murder Scene is your favorite record. And I have seen a lot of people say that their album Error was their favorite record, or what they thought was in their opinion, their best record from the Warning. So I feel like everybody is entitled to their opinion. And I don't really have a strong enough opinion to have which record is my favorite, other than obviously Keep Me Fed is probably my favorite today. That's why I was saying that I wanted to go through Queen of the Murder Scene again, because I feel like if I listen to that record from the start to the end, I will have a lot of a different opinion on it, on how a concept record really tied together. Because I've heard those songs like out of order, and although that they're good, I feel like I also am not taking away the full, and I'm not really getting that full experience that you should get when listening to a record, because I feel like that's how albums should really always be looked at. When you're putting together a concept of just a project or an album in general, it should be listened to from start to finish, at least from the beginning. I can't say that every time you listen to an album, it should be from start to finish, but at least that first time, you shouldn't be skipping around. I used to do a lot of that when I was younger, especially when it came to more like hip hop albums. I would jump straight to the songs with the features. But that's not how albums and the art was meant to be heard and actually, transferred to the audience and the actual listener when you actually when you sat down to put this record together. That's why I always appreciate an artist who knows how to put the records in the right spot of the album. I feel like a lot of people just kind of throw things together and it doesn't flow and transition well. And I feel like song placement on a record is really important, because I feel like it can go from being an okay song to a way better song depending on where it lied within a project. Now I'm getting all over the place, so let's just go ahead and finish the song.
When both of your feet fall on the steps you couldn't climb, I'll be there for you to take back what is mine. You think you can take my title away? Well, I'm coming back, better run away. It's my turn, I'll pass a judgment, can't escape your fate.
I can't remember if I said it in another video or if I just thought it, but I think that Danny's boots are pretty kick-ass. Another great song from The Warning. Like I mentioned earlier, I think that I would appreciate probably this record, I think a little bit more listening to it when it falls like actually on the album itself. Not being too familiar with this particular song, it didn't grasp me and grip me probably the same way that some of the other ones have. But like I said before, like it's not the song is bad. It's just I feel like I'm not familiar enough with it to have the same kind of level of appreciation for this song at this particular moment, just because, like I said, I haven't really sat and marinated with it. This song seems a little out of the place in the concert for me, in terms of just the overall energy of like just how we've gone through this show and like what we have seen in the concert. If I had to guess, I would say this is probably not one of the more popular songs from The Warning. I would probably have played this maybe a little earlier in the show. But at the same time, this also could be a setup for the next song that they're about to play. So I also don't know that. Like I said, there's just parts, I think, of the nuances of the band and the choice of the particular songs and like when they're playing them in the shows might just be a little off to me because I'm just not as familiar with the band as a lot of you guys are. I feel like I'm the new kid on the block and you guys are the experts, and I feel like I'm still learning so much, even though I feel like I've learned a lot. It's such a small amount of time, but at the same time, I still feel like I'm definitely the new kid. Honestly, I have a million thoughts, and every time that I put out one of these videos, I always think of 1,000 more things that I would have said, and someone always points out like that one little thing that I'm like, oh, I really wish that I would have said that because then they wouldn't have this comment. I'm just going to say shout out to all three of them, and I like them equally. But yes, on the serious side, there is no Warning without all three of them. They are all crucial members of this band, and it's just such a cool thing to see a family of musicians be in a band like this and actually just be so in sync and just be able to create and be able to do something and live the life that they live is just a really cool thing to see and witness. Warning Army, you guys are the best. I appreciate you guys for hitting like on the video. And if you haven't joined the Foxtrot family, there is always room for you. Until next time, I appreciate you for watching.